It was India's 500th test in their history. They became only the fourth team in the history of test cricket to play 500 matches and more. This was their 130th win. India won the match by 197 runs. They defeated New Zealand in an emphatic manner, but not before losing out to New Zealand on the first 2 days of the test. India bounced back remarkably well from the third day onwards and did not allow New Zealand to come back in any sense at all in the contest. They bowled well. They had their own match winners, and if you look back at the test, how it panned out, it was an all-round effort from the Indian cricket team. There were runs from the top order, the middle order, the lower order chipped in as well when it was needed, and even the tail whack when in the first innings when India were looking like they will be bowled out under 300. Ravindra Jadeja took 6 wickets in the match, scored one half century. He remained one not out on 42 in the first innings. Ravichandran Ashwin, he created history by becoming the second fastest bowler in Test cricket to take 200 wickets. But that is not all. Today he took 6 wickets in New Zealand's second innings, which means he is now the joint second highest in terms of taking most 10 wicket hauls for India in Test cricket. For India, Anil Kumble, he has taken most number of 10 wicket hauls, which is 8. At the second position are joined two very very special bowlers, which is Ravichandran Ashwin and Harbhajan Singh.
And in doing so, he has also joined. I mean, he has joined the League of Legends. I mean, Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, George Lohman, Dale Steyn, for that matter, Abdul Qadir. They all have taken 10 wicket hauls 5 times. So Ashwin has joined the league, and what is remarkable is he has just played 37 tests.
Exactly. I mean, it is very very special to see a bowler of that kind of stature who is also making a lot of runs, because if India were able to beat West Indies 2-0 in whatever 4 matches they played, and there was a rain interruption in the second match which probably denied India a chance to force a win, and there was some problem in the third test as well. The fourth test when there was a poor ground situation, but we are not getting into that. We'll stick to this particular test match. Let's start with the first day. India was expected to do good compared to what they did. They were outplayed by New Zealand on the first day. Right?
Yeah, the first session belonged to India. The first 2 sessions, India were they were doing pretty good. Toward the second half of the second session, the New Zealand bowlers started picking up wickets. Virat Kohli, gave away his wickets. Murli Vijay, Cheteshwar Pujara, they all played the loose shots, and then New Zealand came back very well and then dominated from the third session onwards till and the second day also belonged to them.
Yes. India came back into the contest with a flurry of wickets on the third day, because that was the time when the pitch had just started to assist the spin. There were a few loose shots played by the New Zealand batsmen. Tom Latham missed a straight one. Kane Williamson also got a very good delivery. Ross Taylor was already dismissed the previous day, right? So what we have to look is how India did not allow New Zealand to come back into the game.
See, even after that 50-60 odd runs lead that India managed in the first innings, they had to go out and bat well in the second innings. That's what they did. It was good to see the middle order, living up to its reputation in the second innings. KL Rahul once again got a good start. Murli Vijay made it count. Cheteshwar Pujara, I think he was out there to make a statement. He was in a good form. He scored heavily in the Dilip Trophy.
Correct.
And we could see he was much more confident. His footwork, and the best part was he was looking to score.
Exactly.
He was looking to score. He scored at a brisk pace.
Yes.
And I believe that helped India. Even Rahane, for that matter, he came and he also contributed with an important 40. So once India, the second innings, India just strengthened the grip on the match, and they batted the Kiwis out of the game.
Okay. Who, according to you, was the most special Indian bowler in this test?
Ashwin. It has to be Ashwin because see, with due respect to Ravindra Jadeja, he got a five-wicket haul in the first innings, and we know that it is very difficult to survive against Jadeja if you're a tailender.
Correct.
But if you see, Ashwin got those important wickets.
Yes.
He dismissed Kane Williamson with two special deliveries. To get a batsman of that caliber out,
Yes.
you have to produce those kind of deliveries, and he had kept it for Kane Williamson probably.
Yes.
Then again, he picked up the important wicket of Tom Latham in the first innings.
Yes.
So again, if you see BJ Watling, is again a very important player for them, and he has time and again, he has stood up when the chips are down, and uh, he dismissed BJ Watling in the first inning. So he got the important wickets, and that was very crucial. And he got very good support from Jadeja at the other end. Even yesterday, Jadeja bowled 11 maidens. I
Yeah.
mean,
That
incredible. Yeah.
that was incredible. But let's talk about India's and New Zealand's seam bowling. New Zealand, from what I can recall, New Zealand bowlers were good on the first day. Their line and lengths were proper, but their plans and their execution was even more better. We can recall the way Neil Wagner dismissed Virat Kohli, and the way Trent Bolt cleaned up India's lower middle order, which has been a problematic thing for India's opposition because Ravichandran Ashwin has been scoring a lot of runs, Riddhiman Saha has been scoring runs, and Shami can also bat a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to be very honest, you have to feel for Riddhiman Saha because he did not get enough runs in. I mean, he scored a duck in this test. Second innings, he did not get too bad, but then you can't do anything. I mean, that was simply an unplayable ball from Trent Bolt.
Correct.
He pitched it on the off stump, and he has got it in a classical left arm pacers delivery. We have seen the likes of Wasim Akram and then Irfan Pathan to execute those kind of deliveries, and it was simply too good. Today also, I mean, there was something for the Pacers. Pacers also
Yes.
had their moments, like Shami. We were discussing in the in our previous video, like how Shami was getting the ball to reverse and
Yes.
and his role in this particular test. So yes, I think. But we'll have to see the conditions in the next test in Kolkata, and again with Mark Craig not playing, do you think New Zealand will have to now employ a three pacer strategy?
I think it will depend a lot on the wicket because Kolkata, we don't expect it to be very, very bouncy as well as pace friendly. What we can expect is India may actually ask, which is for a batting friendly wicket, which can also assist the spinners at some point in time. Because was had New Zealand not lost early wickets on day three, New Zealand had just 166 runs left to bring down India's total, and had New Zealand taken a lead, it would have definitely played a big moral victory, like a moral victory over the Indian team because as the host and as a team which has everything suited in favor, India were expected to play better, but it was New Zealand who did well in the first 2 days. Uh, let's talk a little bit more about the pitch because what we saw in the entire South Africa series, wasn't it the fact that everybody was expecting that India will continue to dish out rank turners and they will just not allow New Zealand to flourish. But what we saw was an excellent wicket at Kanpur, and we must acknowledge that.
Yes, it was a good test cricket wicket, and that is why we saw a very good test match. And probably I think the curators and even BCCI were under some kind of pressure. I mean, had they dished out a rank turner, there would have been again a lot more talks. And then usually you do not expect the Kiwis to talk a lot, but then there is a visiting English side,
Yes.
and we have an England tour coming up. We have Australians coming, early next year.
Yes.
So they would have started talking, and I mean it would have been a unnecessary shift of focus from the current series because uh, you know like even if you saw what happened against South Africa, the South Africans did not make any noise about the
Correct.
entire
Correct.
episode. Amla
Correct.
was pretty fine with the surfaces that he got, and I mean, I do not remember any South Africans for that matter coming up and saying anything against the
Correct,
pitches.
correct. So that is what we have about the pitch. Let's talk about both the teams. Do you think there should be any change in the teams? We know New Zealand have one forced change. Mark Craig has been ruled out of the entire series. He has been replaced by Jitan Patel. So one forced change if New Zealand are opting for three spinners policy once again. But what about India? I see Rohit Sharma retaining his place, and so does KL Rahul. Any change in the bowling attack? Do you see? Is that happening?
Uh, See, with Ishan Sharma getting fit, there is a possibility that Ishan Sharma might come in place of Umesh Yadav, or I mean, if there, it will again depend on the conditions. If there is a bit of movement, if Kohli thinks that there will be movement, then they might even opt for Bhuvneshwar Kumar for that
Correct.
matter. And I do not. I mean, again, if the pitch is. If they feel that the wicket will turn in Kolkata more, so Amit Mishra will come in. But I completely agree with you. I do not see. I actually see Rohit Sharma play the next test because of his 50, and then not to forget he will be playing at Eden
At
Gardens.
Eden Gardens, where he has scored a lot of runs. But what would have definitely, according to me, what would have definitely helped Rohit Sharma what was not the runs, but the fact that he remained unbeaten despite him batting for a very long time in the second innings, and even for a very good amount of time in the first innings. But he remained unbeaten in the second innings, which means he was set for a big total. He could have got 100, 150 had India had the time, or had he not played the stroke which he did in the first innings. But it is all assumption because what what happened, we saw that. Uh, let's get into some of the comments which are coming in now. Very interesting comments. I want to start with Mr. Avinash Achari, who's asking T20. He's asking in Hindi. T20 कब से शुरू होगा? अविनाश जी, आपको ये बात बता दें, इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम इस साल बहुत ज्यादा T20 नहीं खेल रही है, क्योंकि अगर आप इस पूरी सीजन का, इस पूरे साल का बैलेंसिंग देखें, तो आप देखेंगे पहले 6 महीने आपने सिर्फ T20 क्रिकेट ही खेला था. आपने साल की शुरुआत करी थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, सिडनी में चौथा जो ओडीआई आप जीते थे, मनीष पांडे ने एक सेंचुरी लगाई थी. उसके बाद से इंडिया कंटिन्यूअसली और इंडियन क्रिकेटर्स कंटिन्यूअसली T20 क्रिकेट खेलते रहे जब तक वो लोग वेस्ट इंडीज नहीं गए 4 टेस्ट सीरीज खेलने के लिए. और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में 3 टेस्ट मैच, तीन T20 की सीरीज थी. फिर आपके पास एशिया कप T20 था, फिर आपके पास आईसीसी वर्ल्ड T20 था,
बीच में श्रीलंका भी
आ गई थी तीन T20 के लिए, और फिर आपके पास आईपीएल था.
और
तो
अभी भी हम लोगों ने यूएसए में भी 2 T20
हाँ, और यूएस में भी इंडिया ने 2 T20 खेले. तो T20 का थोड़ा सा ओवरडोज हो गया. इस साल इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम सिर्फ टेस्ट क्रिकेट पे कंसंट्रेट कर रही है, क्योंकि टेस्ट में इंडिया के पास बहुत अच्छा करने का एक मौका है. जहां तक इंडिया के आगे के T20 मैचेस की बात है, इंडिया 3 T20 मैचेस खेलेगा टिल मार्च 2017, जो उनका कैलेंडर पैक्ड है. और ये तीनों T20 मैच इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट होंगे, न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट 5 ओडीआई मैचेस होंगे. Another very interesting comment, Mr. Harish Hari, and this is something we're actually having a little bit of fun about. I'll have to be honest. He's asking, do you think Indian team is missing Suresh Raina?
From the test side, definitely no.
Definitely no.
I mean, सुरेश रैना ने अपना लास्ट टेस्ट खेला था दिसंबर 2014 में या जनवरी 2015 में, जब when India had gone to Australia, that MS Dhoni's
Correct.
last series.
Correct.
So सुरेश रैना ने दिलीप ट्रॉफी में इस बार he had done
decently,
but
all
अभी
three
competition
captains did
बहुत ज़्यादा
decently,
है.
but गंभीर सबसे अच्छा करे. 75 का एवरेज से उन्होंने दिलीप ट्रॉफी में रन बनाए सारे मैचेस में. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली इंडियन टीम में अभी कंपटीशन इतना ज्यादा है एक स्पॉट के लिए कि अभी देखना पड़ेगा गंभीर को और थोड़ा ज्यादा परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा. बट then again, India are looking for young talent. There is a very young team, so we'll have to see what the future holds for one of India's very talented batsmen.
Suresh Raina definitely is talented. He also got his opportunities in Test cricket. I mean, he started his Test career with 100,
Correct.
but then eventually, I mean, he faded out. सबको लगा था that he would successfully, fit into the role that Saurav Ganguly played, left-hand middle order batsman. But somehow down the line, Suresh Raina just lost the plot, and now he'll have to prove himself again in the Ranji Trophy. A big season is coming up, and what he can do is he can just look to score runs, and not to forget that he's even out of the T20 side and the one day side, and he's known to be one of India's greatest limited overs players. So at the moment I wouldn't say that I mean India are not missing Suresh Raina.
Correct. A very interesting question from Zaumin Tun. He's asking, should Dinesh Karthik play instead of Riddhiman Saha? Now, we both will like to answer it. I'll start first. Dinesh Karthik, as far as what we know, he is not around the Indian national team for selection. If there will be any call have to be made in case unfortunate injury to Saha or India want to rest Saha, then probably Naman Oja might come in because he has been around the Indian team. That is what we know. And then we have KL Rahul as well. Unfortunately, so far he has not kept wickets in first class cricket, so obviously he will not be given chance straight away. But we do have options. Dinesh Karthik, yes, he can definitely play, but for that matter, India will definitely want to look into what kind of batting form he is in.
Yes, Dinesh Karthik. See, I mean, right now for this series, Riddhiman Saha has been selected. So, I mean, and he will have enough opportunities for himself. And having said so, Riddhiman Saha is a very good batsman. We saw how he applied himself in West Indies, and without that partnership with Ashwin, India were in a big trouble at Saint Lucia. So the opportunities that Riddhiman Saha got in the recent times in West Indies, he has made it count.
Yes.
Not to forget the likes of Kiran More, a great wicket keeper.
Correct.
Then you have your captain Virat Kohli, you have Anil Kumble, who have gone on records to say that Riddhiman Saha is the best wicketkeeper that you have in the country. So when you are keeping against the likes of Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja and Amit Mishra in these conditions, it can be very difficult.
Correct.
But today also we were seeing Saha collect some balls
Correct.
and doing it pretty nicely.
Pretty nice.
So at this moment I do not think Saha's Saha's place is in any sort of bother, and India should look ahead. And like Devarshit mentioned that if an injury rules him out, like it did in Sri Lanka, we will see somebody like Naman Oja coming and
Yes.
replacing him, because he is in the second in the ladder right now. And but yeah, having said so, Riddhiman Saha will have to score runs as well too.
Saha will have to score a lot of runs if in case if he has to keep his place in the side. But I think he's safe for now, unless and
He's
until there
safe
is
for
an
now, yeah.
unfortunate injury which rules him out. Vishal, you're pointing out that DK performed well in TNPL, but TNPL is a T20 format. What we are looking for, what Indian cricket is looking at right now is the next 12 test matches which are left in that big season, because this is one opportunity. Understand? Remember, I mean, just recall from 2014 till a very long time, India did not get to play at home. They toured Australia, they toured New Zealand, they went to England, they went to South Africa, they also went to West Indies, right? So now India have all these teams coming over. England and Australia are due in the next few months, and this is where they want to make it big, because India don't want to lose again. India don't want to slip beyond the second position which they are at right now, and they have a very good promising team which is building up to something very great. So that is something which
Yeah,
India
and
will have to keep in mind.
And just to add, to Devarchit, I would like to also mention that if you see Riddhiman Saha's first class average, he averages close to 43. And if we again go back to Dinesh Karthik's first class average, that is around the same 41, 42.
Correct.
So there is nothing much of a, I do not think there's a much of a difference in terms of batting, because, the average shows that both of them can bat. And if the team management believes that Saha is a better keeper, so they will definitely give him more opportunities.
And let us also look at the kind of young wicketkeeper batsman which India have in their domestic circuit. The first name which comes in my mind from the top of my mind, which I can talk about, is Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
Sanju Samson is a good clean wicketkeeper, and he has a first class batting average of, if I'm not wrong, around 36 to 38, and now he is only 21, 22. So if he improves his game, if he improves his batting skills, definitely he's one future prospect as well.
And India are actually investing on him, and he's going for a lot of A tours. And I think in another two, 3 years, once they think that it is time for a new keeper, they're already grooming Sanju Samson for this role.
Correct. We'll get into some more interesting comments that we are getting from many people. I'll rephrase this question. What was the turning point in this test match?
The turning point has to be Kane Williamson's wicket, probably.
In the first innings?
In the first innings,
Okay.
Kane Williamson's wicket. Uh, uh, Tom Latham also lost his wicket, but then again, with Ronke batting well, because Ronke gave him a good support, and if Williamson could have gone on to score a big 100, New Zealand would have taken a lead,
Yes.
and a lead of 50. I mean, a lead of 50 would have been a
India's lead of 56 looked as good as 100. So
yeah,
obviously it would
yeah,
have looked a
definitely.
lot more than what it
And
was.
the Indian batsman went out with some confidence when
Correct.
in the second innings. But had that lead not been there, there would have been some nervousness in the Indian camp as well. It was a big occasion, 500 test, and I mean we have not seen this Indian team, play under a lot of pressure yet, because again South Africa also, it was relatively an easy outing for them.
Right.
So I think Williamson's wicket was the turning point of the game, and that triggered the Kiwi collapse. And after that, New Zealand did not come back in the
Yeah.
test.
But there was no Williamson on the fifth day. Means New Zealand were completely banking on the experience and the kind of batting which Luke Rockey and Mitchell Santner had done towards the end of the fourth day. So we can say that Shami's double strikes, those two wickets, especially of BJ Watling, it was a beautiful ball which just swung in and wrapped him on the pads. That was a turning point because till then India were not very sure about striking at a regular interval. They had taken a wicket, but that was because of Luke Rockey himself going for a stroke,
Yeah.
getting a leading edge, and
Yeah, from today's context, if you see, definitely that is that Shami's twin blows are the turning point, because again, see, BJ Watling, like we were already discussing before, that what he's capable of, and he could have gone on to he could have produced another match saving knock today, but Shami's strike denied that. And again, Mark Craig, he was injured, but then Mark Craig also averages over 40. So I mean, he's more successful with the bat than ball. So New Zealand had those gritty players who could have made it tough for India,
Correct.
and I think that's where Shami came in.
That was a question from Mr. Baljinder Singh, who is also asking, can we expect more done at Kolkata? A short answer.
Uh, Historically, Kolkata pitches have produced turns.
Yes.
They have produced rank turners, but this is something we'll have to wait and watch. We'll have to have a look at the pitch.
Personally, if the curator is able to do what we get to see in Kanpur, it will be a very good even contest because both the teams played very very well for all the 5 days, isn't it?
Yes. We will hope for another 5-day match in Kolkata too.
Correct. A very interesting question from Mr. Bishal Prasad, who's asking what will be the mindset of both the captains in the second test.
The mindset, see, knowing Kane Williamson, he has that Brendan McCullum approach too. So
Correct.
he will like to go and try to level the series, which will again not be tough. But then that is the mindset you will be having before you enter a test match. You cannot enter a test match thinking that I will save it.
Correct.
So he will go out and he'll like to win the match. And Virat Kohli will like to seal the series in Kolkata, because he knows that India are a better team under these conditions, and to make use of the opportunity, India have an excellent opportunity to go to the number one spot.
Yes. Pujara should not go at. Pujara is not the opener. Pujara is your number 3 batsman. You have horses for courses. He is the best batsman India have. In these conditions, even somewhere overseas, if he really applies himself, because he's an immensely talented batsman. I'm answering to one of the comments made over here. Should Pujara open for India? Because India already have a very stiff competition up for the grabs between KL Rahul, Murali Vijay, and Shikhar Dhawan. We'll have to see when Shikhar Dhawan gets to get back, because Rahul, looking at the current form, he had both the innings he had very soft dismissals, but if he hangs around, he will definitely get to a big score. And once he gets to a big score,
he's been batting very well. That is the point. Yeah.
And if he does not get out in the manner in which he got out in the last 2 innings, and if he gets one or two big scores, the life becomes even more tougher for Dhawan.
Dhawan as well as Gambhir, who is hoping for a comeback. But yes, I believe India, there is no question at all. The next test, we will see Vijay and Rahul open, because it's just a matter of time. Rahul will get a big one, because he's been batting so well. It's just like he'll have to be a bit more cautious and put a price tag on his wickets and just cut down on the reckless shots that he has been playing, and giving away his wickets.
Correct.
But yeah, Rahul will be opening, and Pujara is India's best number 3 at the moment.
Yes. So this is what we have for today. India have taken lead in the three test series. India are now one up against New Zealand, won the first test by 197 runs. What it does, it sets a tone, the momentum for India that, okay, we have begun our big home season with a bang, with a big win. Now let the opposition come hard at us. We are all completely functioning like a well-oiled machine for the challenges to come, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
This is something which India would have definitely wanted to, and they will be happy achieving something which they have achieved today. It was a historic test match for them. It was their historic test match win as well against New Zealand, a very big margin. Some new records being created by Ravichandran Ashwin. Jadeja also doing good, very good for India. Personally, I feel Murali Vijay, he needs to get to one or two big scores because he has been around. He's been spending a lot of time at the wicket, but somewhere he loses a concentration in patches. Is what I felt. Pujara will definitely get to from the way we can look at him batting right now. He can definitely get to big scores in the Test series. We can also expect some big scores from Rohit Sharma, as well as some from Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja. So India
Yeah,
looking
and
good
not
for
to forget, Virat Kohli is due for a big one.
Virat Kohli is due for a big one. He has gone
Six
without
innings.
runs, six
Yeah.
innings, 90 odd runs, but
Yes.
at an average of 15. This is just not Virat Kohli that we know. So we will have to wait for that. Very interestingly, the Indian cricket this home season has been packed very, very well, which means these two teams will have only 3 full days of rest before the second test begins at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. We have no idea absolutely on what kind of wicket Kolkata will produce. Prabir Da is not there anymore,
Yes.
unfortunately. We will be what we can look forward to is a very even contest between the bat and the ball, which we got to see in the first test. The third test will be from October 8th, which is in Indore, my hometown. It will be the first ever test, and it will be the final test of the series before the 5 ODIs begin. Let's not get much more further. Let's wrap this up for now. Thank you for tuning in. Keep following cricketcountry.com for all the cricket updates. We do write a lot. We do write a lot in Hindi as well. We do live blogs in Hindi. Somebody was complaining in the earlier session, but we'll try to keep improving. Thank you for praising us, and please follow cricketcountry.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much.